We had an overflow crowd yesterday. I imagine it will be even bigger for the winner-take-all event coming up Monday. Hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll be honest with you, I can't wait for it. Joining us in studio, kind of a telephone town hall, if you will. We call it a Talk the Vote town hall, is Congressman Joe Heck, who joins us. First of all, thanks for joining us. Good to have you in. You look all kind of cash, golf shirt. You look really comfortable.
Well, Kevin, it's good to be back. It's been a while, so I appreciate the opportunity to come in.
What I asked you about last night, did you get a chance to catch the debate number 2?
Certainly did. We were watching it at our campaign headquarters, had a big crowd of volunteers there watching it, and then as soon as it was over, we had them back on the phones.
That's the way to do it. That is, we get them while the iron's hot. What did you think of the debate? How do you think Romney did? How do you think the president did? He had an off night in debate 1.
Right.
Did he bounce back? Did the president bounce back last night?
Well, I think he bounced back only because, it was in comparison to what he did in the first debate. I mean, I think to me the debate was pretty much a draw. The president was a little bit more on his game. I don't think there was a clear winner. I think when you look at the responses to the questions that were asked and I don't know why anybody in a presidential race would, on the Republican side, would agree to go do a town hall style debate in Long Island and Nassau County. It's going to be hard to find a audience that's going to be somewhat neutral. But I think Mitt Romney did well. I think the president did well, and I think all in all it was a draw.
I want to ask you though about these debates and moderators. You've done debates. Can the moderator make or break one candidate? Have you seen that in your experience where the moderator really hurts one candidate or the other?
Well, I think, the moderator certainly has a tough job in trying to make sure that the debate stays focused and that the debaters try to get him to answer the questions. And, like locally, I think Mitch Fox does a great job with the Vegas PBS debates that he moderates. I think last night, Candy Crowley was doing a fairly good job until all of a sudden she decided to fact-check one of the president's answers, and she fact-checked it wrong. So I think that's the problem when you start having a moderator who oversteps the idea of moderating the debate and wants to become a participant.
The other thing I hate about the debates is where consultants – is there a consultant in the room at all? No? Okay, I just want to be sure. That the consultants end up picking up, 7 words of a 30-word sentence, and all of a sudden it ends up in a 30-second ad. You've been the victim of that. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Joe Heck is too extreme for Nevada. Does that bother you, and does it make you think, even in those debate settings, or even in a setting like this where the opposition is listening, does it make you, weigh every word, every phrase?
I think folks would hope that it did, but unfortunately it's just not how I'm wired. If somebody asks me a question, I'm going to give them a truthful and honest answer, and it comes out the way the answer is formulated in my head. And so, like in that situation, you're right. They take a clip out of context and make it to be something that it's not. And I was trying to bring across the point that there's more money going out of Social Security than coming into Social Security for the first time in Social Security's history. And so, I was trying to illustrate that point, but that isn't what came across in the video snippet that they decided to use.
Let me just ask you, your explanation of Social Security, when people, in particular seniors or those who are 10 years away from being seniors, when you talk to them about Social Security, what do you tell them?
Well, we tell them, look, what we've got to do is make sure that the benefit you're currently collecting or expect to collect within the next 10 or 12 years is going to be protected, it's going to be preserved, and it's going to be there for you the way you have been counting on it for your entire life. But for those that are younger, we're going to need to make some changes to the system to make sure that benefit, that program will be there for them when they hit the retirement age. And so that's why I co-sponsored a bill that would actually prevent the government, prevent Congress from going and raiding the Social Security Trust Fund and use it to pay other things. There's about $2.3 trillion in IOUs sitting in the trust fund because previous Congresses have swept that money to use it to pay for other things. And I don't think that's right. I think if the benefit the payroll deduction for Social Security or for Medicare is going into a trust fund to provide a benefit in the out years, then that money should be held harmless and only used to pay off those benefits.
Whatever happened to this Social Security lockbox? Did they give everybody a key? All 535 members of Congress got a key to the Social Security lockbox?
I don't know, but I think that file cabinet in West Virginia is just brimming over full of IOUs from prior Congresses, and we've got to get away from that. We've got to say, look, if the money's coming in for these benefits, then it's got to be used for those benefits. We've got to make sure those that are expecting something that are 55 or older have it, and for those entering the workforce or that are younger, we've got to make changes that they will know about in advance and then be prepared for those changes and yet still have a benefit when they hit the full retirement age.
I want to ask you about a little more about Social Security. I want to remind you that one of the things we do when we have the extended period of time with a guest, is we want to make them available to you. So we're doing that right now. You want to talk with Congressman Joe Heck. You have an issue you want to talk about. Now is your chance. 733-KXNT. That's 733-5968. You want to text a question or a comment, you can do so. Just text KXNT followed by your first name and your message to 84816. And by the way, you want to tweet a question as well. If you follow me on Twitter, you can do that right now at Kevin Wall, KXNT. What is the fix for Social Security? And I know it's always been the third rail, and everybody's real hesitant. And, if you say the wrong thing, they'll start jumping on you, and they'll be running ads. Seniors, you're going to have, Joe Heck wants to take away your Social Security. Tell me what the fix is. Is there a simple fix to Social Security?
Well, I don't think there's a simple fix. I think there's several things that have to be done right away, and then you have to look at it from an actuarial standpoint of what makes sense. So what has to be done right away? Number one, Congress has to stop raiding the trust fund. Number two, you got to get the economy back on track and get more people back to work so more people are paying into Social Security. Right now, with high unemployment rates, the money isn't coming in. That's part of the problem. So make sure Congress doesn't raid the account. Make sure people are working so that contributions are coming into the trust fund. Then you've got to look at what do you do structurally to make that program be protected and preserved for the out years. And there have been many things that have been talked about. One is take off the cap on the amount of income that's eligible to pay Social Security benefits.
Does that number go up this year?
It does. This year it's 110. Next year I believe it goes up to $113,000. Yeah. But on Medicare there's no cap. You pay Medicare tax on every dollar of income. So that's one of the things that's been put out there, is take the cap off Social Security.
If you took the cap off totally, would that fix it?
No, it still won't fix it. That's just another piece or another tool in the toolbox. Some have talked about indexing the retirement age. That if you raise the retirement age 1 month a year till the maximum retirement age gets to like age 70, that will help, because you're stringing out the retirement age. Now, of course, that causes concern for some people. I mean, people in the construction industry, a laborer, you don't expect a laborer to be out, working till the age of 70. So those are the issues. So you have to look at the money coming in, how much is going out, how fast it's going out, and then the bean counters, the guys that do this for a living, have got to sit down and say, okay, if you do this, this is how long it lasts. If you do this, this is how long it lasts. And let's have everything on the table, and let's come up with a plan that will address the issue for the out years.
I've had my shot at Congressman Joe Heck. You'll get your shot coming up after the news. You want to join in? I do have one line open right now. So if you want to seize it, you want to get a place in line, you want to get an opportunity to talk with Congressman Joe Heck, you can do that right now. 733-KXNT, 733-5968. We'll get to your calls straight ahead, live and local, for a Wednesday, a hump day, on 100.5 KXNT, where Chuck and the News are next.
Nevada's economy is struggling, and Shelley Berkeley and Barack Obama aren't helping. Together, they rammed through Obamacare, cutting $700 billion from Medicare, imposing job-killing tax hikes, and injecting government bureaucrats in seniors' health decisions. And it gets worse. While we struggle to make ends meet, Shelley Berkeley is under investigation for using her position to financially benefit her husband's company to the tune of $600,000. We can't trust Shelley Berkeley. She's looking out for her family, not yours.
Nevadans deserve better. Dean Heller fought against Obamacare and voted to repeal it. Heller supports a balanced budget amendment and will work to cut taxes on families and small businesses that will boost our economy. Honest, effective, and working for us. Dean Heller for Senate. Paid for by the Cooperative of American Physicians IE Committee, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. www.capphysicians.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
This is FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT, where the News Watch never stops.
Positive news on the housing front. KXNT News Time is 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm Chuck Meyer. New housing numbers came out today, and they were trending well.
Both single and multifamily housing starts and permits for future activity are up to 4-year highs.
That's Ken Simonson, an economist with the Building Contractors Group, who says all of this has to be taken into some context, though.
Single-family activity is less than half of what it was at the all-time peak. I'm not sure anybody expects to get back to that peak in the next several years.
A man's been arrested in New York today for plotting to set off a 1,000-pound bomb at the Federal Reserve in Manhattan. It was an FBI sting operation. that ended when the man was arrested with his finger on a phony detonator. CBS reporter John Miller.
This was an individual who allegedly was out seeking help to put together a terrorist plot. Then he was introduced to FBI undercover employees who, posing as Al-Qaeda people, said, well, what do you want to do? What kind of target do you want to hit? What kind of bomb did you have in mind? And he allegedly said, I'm looking for something very large. So the size of the device that they built at an undercover location on Long Island and that he saw in the course of this investigation is one that rivals the size of the truck bomb that was used to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993.
How big was the presidential debate last night in the social media? Big.
The debate, the top political event of all time in social media. More than 12 million comments on Twitter and Facebook. The debate placing third among the top social media events of any kind, behind only this year's Grammys and the MTV Video Music Awards. Biggest social media spike of the evening.
We're sort of way off.
The end of this tense exchange.
Completely off.
Women dominate social media conversation about the debate, 54 to 46%. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
KXNT News Time is 3:32. Traffic, weather together. Here's Karen Fidel.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Taking a look at your surface streets. Couple of injury accidents on the west side. Sahara west of Decatur at Edmond. Desert Inn between Wallapai and Fort Apache at Grand Canyon. One on the east side, Pecos at Russell. The Allstate Good Hands route of the day is Lake Mead, westbound from Nellis all the way to Las Vegas Boulevard, with no closure to have to detour around at Pecos. That's right, the intersection of Lake Mead and Pecos has reopened. When it comes to guaranteeing your auto claim experience, Allstate puts their money where their mouth is. Only Allstate has the claim satisfaction guarantee. To learn more or get a quote, talk to an Allstate agent today. Are you in good hands? I'm Karen Fidel, 100.5 KXNT Traffic.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Christian Boris from Channel 13 Action News. Looking at a calm evening, overnight low of 63. We're going to see some light northerly winds, but those winds will remain light as we head into Thursday. Sunny with a high of 86. Watch out, though, next week turning cooler and windy with a shot of fall.
Currently, Nellis, 84, Red Rocks, 77, Las Vegas, 83. Download the Your Day app. To listen live, get news anytime at KXNT.com. Just ahead, more of Live and Local with Kevin Wall on FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
At the Mini Not Normal sales event, you don't have to jump through metaphorical hoops to get a great deal. However, if you really enjoy jumping, we'll have some actual hoops on hand just for you. The event is happening October 20th. Visit desertminioflasvegas.com today to register.
Mark Levin.
This president is an ideologue. This president is an incompetent. This president is dim-witted.
Weeknights at 9 after Dave Ramsey.
There, I said it.
On FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Oh, hey, Ted.
Hey.
Friday is Kate's last day in the office.
Oh.
We're getting her one of those double strollers and an ice cream cake.
Cool.
If you want to chip in, you can just send me the money with Chase Quick Pay.
Chase Quick Pay?
Yeah, with Chase Quick Pay, you can send money with just an email address.
Really? For Ted, who had built his own computer at the age of 10 and subsequently majored in computer science and advanced data structures, the ability to pay someone back by using their email was more than a keystroke of programming genius. It was life-changing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Here, I'll show you. With Chase Quick Pay, you just type in the person's mobile number or email address here and how much you want to pay here and hit send, and the money goes to their checking account. It's so easy.
Wow.
Gotta go, Ted. Just Chase Quick Pay me.
The ability to pay and send money all without having to write a check or have the exact change. Get Chase Quick Pay today and start paying with your smartphone instead of cash. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
Chase Quick Pay transfers available within 1 to 5 business days. Visit chase.com to enroll and for eligible mobile devices, limitations, and details. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
The Visa Platinum card from America First will always have a great low rate today and 12 months from now. So say no to introductory rate games, gimmicks, and gotchas. And say yes to consistent low rates, great rewards, and cash back options from America First Credit Union.
Hey, it's John Barr. John, what are your picks this year?
Well, I have the 2012 Camry coming in hot at 0% for 60 months.
John.
And then I have the 2012 Corolla and Avalon, as well as 5 other top-selling models, all available at 0% interest for 60 months.
John.
And let's not forget our insanely stylish lineup of new 2012 Scions.
John, I'm talking about college football.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
At Finley Toyota, we'll do anything to sell you a car.
Your workers' comp company should be your business partner, not just a company that takes your premium dollars. With Pro Group Management's self-insured groups, we don't just provide you coverage, we bring a full array of risk management services to your business. We provide worker safety training, support, and full web risk management tools to you every day at no extra cost, because that is how a good partner works with you. As your partner, we help ensure your employee safety with safety training and materials in over 100 categories for all types of business operations. When you're a Pro Group member, you have a partner looking out for your employees and your business. Find out how to partner with Pro Group Management. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now, or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Hey, Joe.
Howdy, neighbor. Great day, isn't it?
So, I see your for sale sign's gone. Guess your short sale went through, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm not selling anymore.
Really? I thought you were tired of living in an underwater home.
Well, I was. So I went to Peters & Associates and told them I wanted to sell the thing unless the bank lowered my mortgage. They told me about their all-in-one program, and I signed up. Sure enough, they got my loan balance lowered to what my house is actually worth, so I'm staying.
All-in-one? What's that?
Well, basically, P&A fights your bank for a principal reduction, and if the bank refuses to lower your balance, they'll do a short sale.
So you're telling me you went for a short sale and they lowered your mortgage balance?
Yes, sir.
Wow, sounds like I need to hire P&A too. You got their number?
Yep, they're the ones with the phone number that's easy to remember. It's 1-800-ERASE-DEBT.
1-800-ERASE-DEBT. Now, these 1-800-ERASE-DEBT guys are local, right?
Yep, Peters & Associates right here in Vegas.
Hey, thanks, Joe. I'll call 1-800-ERASE-DEBT right now.
Pure Aqua Solutions, a Hague dealer, wants you to experience the best water possible for 3 months for only $4.95 per month. For more information, call 749-4400. That's 749-4400. Pure Aqua Solutions, the right solution for your heart water solutions.
Kevin Wall, live and local. FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Governor Romney says he has a plan to create 12 million new jobs in the next 4 years. But when folks started crunching the numbers, it fell apart even faster than his tax plan. Turns out his jobs math isn't any better than his tax math.
The president out on the stump following a debate performance that was better but wasn't good enough last night at Hofstra University. Congressman Joe Heck joining us, running against John Osagura in CD3, and we are taking your calls until 4:20. So if you want to join in, you want to talk about the issues that are important to Nevadans, this is your opportunity to visit with Congressman Heck. In fact, tell you what, let's do. Let's go to Mark. Mark, you're up, and you're on with Congressman Joe Heck. Go right ahead.
Thanks, Kevin. Congressman, it's nice to speak with you, and I just have a couple of comments and a request. I would really appreciate it if you would sponsor a bill to allow individuals to opt out of Social Security and opt out of Medicare and opt out of Medicaid and opt out of some of these things that are forced upon us. I'm a small, independent business owner. I write my own paycheck. I don't pay 7.5% Social Security. I pay 15% because my business pays it and then I pay it personally. And I know that that money is not being invested. I know that I'm not going to receive a return on that money if I were to invest it myself. And,
okay, I can't tell you what, that is a mouthful. Let's get a response from Congressman Heck.
Well, certainly, I think first Medicaid is, you don't have to get on Medicaid if you don't want to. You got to make an application to be a Medicaid beneficiary. But the Social Security issue, and that's one of the things that we were talking about earlier. What are some of the potential options for the future of Social Security? And some have suggested that perhaps you allow individuals to take a portion of the employee deduction and allow them to invest it in something that they think is going to work better for them. The employer piece would still go to Social Security so that, like in the situation we found ourselves over the last 2 years, if the market tanked and somebody had invested in something that was now non-existent, they would still have some guaranteed Social Security benefit. Likewise, you could probably put something into an investment that yields more than what Social Security yields. I mean, you could put it into a certificate of deposit which is insured, and yield more than you can get out of what Social Security is yielding. So that's another one of the potential options for people to try to get retirement security as we move forward.
In this day and age, though, because the last time somebody suggested even something like that, it was President Bush, George W. Bush, and he was accused of privatizing Social Security, and he paid a toll. He used up a lot of capital. Is that palatable politically to say, hey, we'll give you that option?
Well, look, you can't talk about things that are palatable politically. We've got to talk about things that provide options that will preserve this program. I mean, here's the issue. The trustees for Social Security have said that Social Security will no longer be able to pay out benefits as expected by 2037. So you have two choices. You can either, and then they also said that Medicare will not pay out benefits in 2024. And the trustees' report said that Congress should take action sooner than later, because the sooner they take action to correct these issues, the more options are on the table. So that is what we're talking about. The other side wants to say, in keeping with their never let a good crisis go to waste, wait until 2023, wait until 2036, when then the only possible option is to raise taxes, because there's not enough time to make a structural reform to make the program solvent.
Congressman Joe Heck joining us. You want to join in? We've just freed up one line. You want to seize it? You want to get a place in line? Now's your chance. 733-KXNT at 733-5968. Go next to John. John, you're up, and you're on with Congressman Joe Heck. Go right ahead.
Hey, Dr. Heck. This is John Holzer.
Hey, John.
Great to talk to you. I got a question on your comment about the Social Security bill you put in. I'm 66, so I'm actually eligible to draw Social Security full retirement age. My wife is only 52. She has not worked enough to qualify on her own, so she's going to have to qualify on my Social Security. How does your bill affect that? Since I'm over 55, she's under 55.
Well, the first, I haven't put a bill in. What I did was co-sponsor legislation that would guarantee that payroll deductions for Social Security would only be used for Social Security. The issue about about where we make structural reforms to preserve the program for the future is that those that are 55 or older would see absolutely no changes to the program as it currently exists. Those that are 54 and younger would see some structural changes that would ensure them that a benefit would be there when they reached retirement age. So as far as your benefit at the age of 66, that if you're collecting now or if you hit full retirement age at 67, you would see no change to the Social Security program as it currently exists.
John, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Jonathan, you're next up, and you're on Live and Local. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm 13, and I was wondering, Dr. Heck, I was wondering what Social Security and Obamacare, how it's going to affect me in the future and how you can change it.
Age 13. Jonathan, thank you for the call.
Jonathan, that's great for being so engaged at that age. I wish there were more of you out there. Look, the issue with Obamacare is that it's going to place a significant tax burden on future generations because it's going to be unsustainable as far as the cost. You know, when they originally passed the bill, it said it was going to cost $1 trillion. 3 months later, it was up to $1.3 trillion. A few months back, it was up to $1.7 trillion. And that doesn't include the administrative costs, which if you add those in, you're up to almost $2.3 trillion over 10 years for Obamacare. So that's how it's going to impact you. It's going to be, you are going to be paying off the debt that this administration has accumulated. Whether it's Obamacare, when it's Social Security, it's an idea of making sure that we have a program that'll be there when you hit retirement age. And so those are the things that we're talking about. We want to make sure that the programs are protected for current beneficiaries and soon-to-be beneficiaries and are preserved for future generations like yourself. So thanks for calling in, and thanks for being so engaged at such a young age.
Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate the call. We're going to get to more of your calls from all across the valley. We're talking with Congressman Joe Heck. You want to join us? He's going to be with us till 4:20, so there's plenty of room for you. We've got two lines open right now. You can seize either one of them, 733-KXNT, 733-5968. It's live and local for a Wednesday on 100.5 KXNT.
Listen daily between 9 a.m. and noon right here on KXNT FM for Let's Be Frank with Dr. Daniel Frank, physician lead with Southwest Medical Associates' new Senior Lifestyle Center, a place dedicated to the medical and social needs of seniors.
We believe that even when your team is apart, it should be easy to be together. That when you can meet face to face, you're more likely to see eye to eye. That when everyone is on the same screen, it's a lot easier to be on the same page. Welcome to GoToMeeting, the powerfully simple way to meet and collaborate online. With one click, launch or join a meeting from anywhere. It's that easy. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and enter promo code 45 for a free 45-day trial. GoToMeeting. Meeting is believing.
Staples Copy and Print knows you need to promote your business.
Trifold, full-color, double-sided brochures.
As you expand to a new area.
Business cards, postcards, car magnets.
So your business can thrive.
Business forms for invoices.
Because at the end of the day, only one thing is really important.
More invoices.
So you go to the one place that has it all.
Staples.
And prints it right.
Staples.
Staples. Right now, buy 250 business cards, postcards, flyers, or brochures and get 250 free. Details in-store or at staples.com/color. Ends 11/10/12. Staples. That was easy.
Social Security, something we've been talking about. We've been talking about it over the course of the last, 40 minutes. And we're going to be talking about it more. We have paid into it most of our adult lives. And when we reach retirement age, we assume that we're going to be collecting benefits. We don't really know. Did you see that AP report about 3-4 weeks ago? It was in the RJ. Those retiring today are members of the first generation to pay more into Social Security than they'll get out of Social Security. Now, what if I told you that having a better understanding of Social Security could add tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement income? Would you be interested in hearing more about it? Well, then you need to call my friend Pat Kerfoot at Annuity Choice. Pat uses a unique Social Security solution system to actually educate folks nearing retirement to better understand Social Security. Pat can help you create a personalized retirement income plan just like the one he did for me, to maximize your Social Security benefits and to make sure you have enough income to live comfortably in retirement. The best thing is, it's absolutely free. It won't cost you a dime. Now, even if you're already drawing Social Security, Pat can show you strategies that can make your retirement much more comfortable. Now, to receive your free, personalized retirement income plan, call Pat Kerfoot right now. He is standing by. He wants to talk to you, and he wants to get this information to you. 684-7598. That's Pat Kerfoot. Call right now, 684-7598. It's absolutely free. You got nothing to lose. 684-7598. Make the call right now.
So many who voted for Barack Obama 4 years ago now believe we simply can't afford 4 more years. Here in Nevada, UNLV basketball great Greg Anthony is one of them.
There's a really soft spot in my heart for Nevada, having been born and raised there. Well, you look at what's happened nationally with the economy, I think Nevada's been disproportionately affected. When you look at unemployment, it's probably the highest in the country. And yet we've still not really seen a plan to try to improve that aspect of our economy. I voted for Barack Obama. I thought he would be a centrist, and I really lost faith in him. And I think over the last 4 years, we've heard enough excuses. Now it's time for solutions. Well, I'm supporting Mitt Romney. He's a no-excuse kind of guy.
I'm Mitt Romney. I'm running for president, and I approve this message.
You can learn more at mittromney.com/jobs plan. Paid for by Romney for President, Incorporated.
From the tee box to the fairway to the green, Canyon Gate Country Club is in great shape, and you can experience what our members already know: an amazing clubhouse and a great golf course with many options of play. Experience the one, Canyon Gate Country Club. Be a member for a day. Play 18 holes and enjoy lunch just for a card fee. Call 363-4320. Come play and find out about great benefits and privileges, including playing Bears Best. For details, call Rachel at 363-4320. That's 363-4320.
This is Jeff Lavelle with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. I've helped teachers, police, doctors, lawyers, and a judge short sell their homes and made the banks forgive what they owe. So when I hear what I believe to be misleading and dishonest advertising from expensive attorneys, it's very disappointing. I will get the banks to forgive what you owe in writing, or you can cancel your sale, no questions asked. I even get the banks to pay all your fees for you. Why pay an attorney thousands when I charge nothing? Call Jeff Lavelle now at 271-6868. That's 271-6868.
KXNT Traffic.
Just when things were moving along so well on 15 northbound, smack you have a crash. 15 northbound before Charleston. Traffic struggling northbound 15 from Spring Mountain to get past the wreck at Charleston, even though it has been pushed off to the right shoulder. Congratulations on the west side, though. You have a new ramp opening tomorrow. The westbound Cheyenne loop ramp to southbound 95 tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Motorists heading westbound on Cheyenne will no longer be able to make left turns to access southbound 95. It's going to be closed off. You'll need to stay in the far right lane lane of westbound Cheyenne to access the new ramp to southbound 95 after 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Celebrate Oktoberfest at the Feast and Festival buffets. German-inspired favorites, including homemade sauerbraten and sausage or sauerkraut at all stations and fiestas. Go to sclv.com/buffets. I'm Karen Fidel, 100.5 KXNT Traffic.
I just think the American people had expected that the President of the United States would be able to describe what he's going to do in the next 4 years. But he can't. He can't even explain what he's done in the last 4 years.
I love that. That from last night's debate. Great to have you with us. 3:51 live and local for a Wednesday. Congressman Joe Heck squaring off against John Oseguera. And you guys have debated how many times now?
Once, actually.
Once,
in person.
and you got one more. One more, and that'll be on John Ralston's face-to-face.
On John Ralston. Yeah, he didn't show at the Near to Mid event that we were supposed to have last week.
No show?
No show.
Chickened out?
Chickened out. He sent his tracker to get me on video, but he didn't come.
That's the way they usually do it. Let's go to David. David, you're up. You're on Live and Local. I am so glad you called. Hi.
Hi. Congressman Heck, what can be done to reform such conduct as Mr. Oseguera's double-dipping both his county and state positions and collecting a pension? And he apparently annualized his best day in both positions, retiring at 40 with a six-figure pension. Is there any private enterprise on this planet that has such lavish pension benefits?
That is a great question. Thank you, David.
Yeah, thanks, David. And I think that's the PERS system, the Public Employees Retirement System here in the state of Nevada. And so that would be the state legislature making changes to the PERS system. So you saw that he retired at the age of 42, 43, six-figure pension, $450,000 buyout package, and if he goes to Congress, then he'll be eligible for the Federal Employee Retirement System, which I introduced legislation to be able to opt out of. Everybody's talking about trying to opt out of Social Security. Believe it or not, a member of the House of Representatives cannot opt out of the Federal Employee Retirement System. And so when I tried to do that and I was told, no, the law says you have to take the pension, I introduced legislation to say, well, I don't want it, so give us an option of getting out of it. I wonder if my opponent would endorse that type of legislation.
Tell you what, let's go to Tammy. Tammy, you're up and you're on Live and Local. I'm so glad you called.
Hi.
Your question or comment for Congressman Joe Heck.
Hi, thank you. I also am a small business owner, and 2 callers ago, a gentleman asked him directly if he'd sponsor a bill to end Social Security to be able to opt out of it. I don't think he answered it very directly, but I also would like that option, and I would also like to know why we have to match as a business owner. I mean, that's just double dipping. Why can't we get some relief as business owners?
Well, I think, Tammy, the first part to answer the question, and going back to the first gentleman who asked it, was I said that was one of the options that's under consideration, is allowing people to opt out of Social Security and taking a portion of their Social Security contributions and having the ability to invest it in a vehicle that they think will be better for them. Now, Social Security has always been this match between the individual, the employer, and the employee. And actually, 4 years ago, one of the parts of the tax relief package that was passed was actually giving employers a break on having to pay Social Security tax for new hires. But that's the way Social Security has always been set up, to ensure that both the employers and the employees are contributing to the individual's future retirement.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Appreciate the call. You want to join in on the conversation, you're welcome to do so. I've just freed up a line, 733-KXNT, 733-5968. Go to Azim. Azim, you're up and you're on with Congressman Joe Heck. Go right ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, guys. Question about the Mortgage Debt Relief Act. What are your thoughts? I know Senator Heller's on board with renewing it or extending it, and I know the House is a little more averse to some of these tax, income-reducing type ideas. So what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, thanks, Azim. Actually, I support the extension of the Mortgage Debt Relief Act. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that in a place like Southern Nevada, where we're suffering the worst with foreclosure crises and the number of people that are so significantly upside down in their homes, that they're being taxed on money that they never see. So if they short sale, or there's a foreclosure, or they sell the house, and there's this capital gains on paper, they're being taxed on that. And that's absolutely ludicrous. And I do hope that the Mortgage Debt Relief Act will be part of the end-of-year extender package that we will pass out. So I support extending it at least as long as we are in this foreclosure crisis here in Southern Nevada.
I don't have time to get to another call in this segment. We'll get to you after the news. I promise those of you holding will get to your calls. I want to ask you, and I need about a 30-second answer, what happens in the so-called lame duck session of Congress? Will you get anything done?
Well, I'm hopeful that we will. I mean, there's certainly a lot of things on the plate. One, we have the sequestration that has to be addressed. We have the expiration of the current 0103 tax cuts that have to be addressed. We have the Medicare reimbursement issue, what's called the SGR, that has to be addressed. There are a lot of things that need to be taken care of. The so-called fiscal cliff that we are heading for, we have to avert going over the cliff. And so I am hopeful that we will be able to address those critical issues for the people back here.
Do you see, and I need about 15 seconds, do you see any ability to trim enough to avoid sequestration?
Yes, the House already passed a sequestration replacement package that would take care of sequestration for the first year and give us more time to move forward. Senate wouldn't take it up.
Wow. Send your cards and letters to Senator Harry Reid if you'd like them to take this bill up. Hey, stick around. More of your calls for Congressman Joe Heck. I'm Kevin Wall, live and local for a Wednesday on 100.5 KXNT, where news is next.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. I'm so excited. The 2013 PC Laptops Annihilator laptop is here. It has the amazing new iBright LED screen. It's so bright, you can see it in direct sunlight. It also features the newest Intel i7 processor and insane NVIDIA GTX 680M video card. So whether you're running a business empire or conquering the galaxy, you'll have the best laptop on the planet to assure your victory. The Annihilator's hand-built right here in Nevada, not in Chumbawamba, so you get the absolute best quality and you create American jobs for our community. And that's a win-win. It also comes with PC Laptops exclusive lifetime service guarantee for free, so you're taken care of forever. And to make it extra sweet, we're doing 0 down, 0 interest for a whole year. OAC. So call us right now at 1-877-596-SAVE or check us out at PCLaptops.com. That's PCLaptops.com. Because at PC Laptops, we love you.
Why is it that Bill Jansen has 4 complaints filed against him with the Standing Committee on Judicial Ethics and Discipline? Why? Because Jansen is using taxpayer money to pay for his campaign telephone and email. He uses his secretary, a county employee paid by taxpayers, for his campaign. Jansen also says he's endorsed by all of labor, even though his opponent, Cynthia Dustin Cruz, is endorsed by 3 labor groups. During his last campaign, Jansen paid his wife $18,000 from his campaign funds, even though he had no opponent.
Hello, I'm Steve Sampson from Veterans in Politics. We have concerns about Jansen, since he repeatedly told us that he does not need a computer to do his job. A judge today must use a computer to stay current on the law, save taxpayers money, and maintain efficiency. This is why we support Cynthia Dustin Cruz over Jansen.
I am Cynthia Dustin Cruz, and I appreciate the support I have received from veterans, working families, and other community interests. I ask for your vote for Justice Court Department 5. Thank you.
Paid for by the committee to elect Cynthia Dustin Cruz.
The Crossroads of the West Gun Show is back this weekend at the Cashman Center.
Awesome selection. Awesome. Yeah, just a lot more than I expected to see.
We're finding everything we're looking for, so we're impressed.
It's America's premier gun show with great deals on guns, ammo, scopes, accessories, and more. Some at wholesale prices, plus jewelry, gift ideas, and door prizes.
If they don't have it here, they don't have it.
Crossroads of the West Gun Show this weekend at the Cashman Center. Sales are conducted in compliance with all federal, state, and local laws.
Buy tickets online at CrossroadsGunShows.com.
Looking for your next big opportunity? Then you need to attend Brad Sugar's Business Coaching Career Opportunity live at Green Valley Ranch Resort Thursday, October 18th. Learn why business coaching is a booming billion-dollar industry and why now is the time to join the world's #1 business coaching group and start making what you deserve. Brad Sugars, founder of Action Coach, is in Vegas to recruit the best of the best. Event times are 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. These free events fill up fast. So register now at events.bradsugars.com or call 795-3188 to reserve your seat.
Covering all of Southern Nevada with 100,000 watts of news and compelling talk. KXNT AM and HD North Las Vegas. KXNT FM and HD1 Henderson. The news starts now.
Arrests in a plot to bomb the Federal Reserve in New York.
The truck bomb was parked by the Federal Reserve, and it was to be detonated by a remote signal from a cellular telephone.
More meningitis deaths and more cases of West Nile virus.
4,531 cases and 183 deaths.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, late edition. I'm Bill Whitney. A young man from Bangladesh is under arrest in New York, charged with trying to detonate a 1,000-pound car bomb outside the Federal Reserve Bank. CBS News correspondent John Miller reports the FBI found Qazi Mohammed Nafis in a jihadist chat room and set up a sting.
He has been involved in discussions with undercover FBI agents for a number of weeks now leading up to this plot. According to people informed about the case, he was asked if he was still willing to go through with it, if he was committed to go through with it, and he allegedly told them, "Nothing is stopping me from doing this."
Investigative producer Pat Milton says Nafis was provided with what he believed to be explosives, which he tried to detonate by cell phone from the Millennium Hotel.
This hotel is right across the street from the World Trade Center. There, Nafis recorded a video statement to the American public in which he said that he intended to release in connection with the attack. And during that video statement, according to the criminal complaint against Nafis, Nafis is said to have stated, "We will not stop until we attain victory or martyrdom."
5 associates of the suspect have been rounded up. Officials at the Centers for Disease Control have updated the meningitis outbreak. Sabrina Gibbons reports.
The CDC is reporting 4 more people have now died in the outbreak, bringing the number of deaths to 19. In all, nearly 250 people in 15 states were sickened in this outbreak, most patients developing symptoms anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks after getting the tainted injections. But the CDC's Dr. John Jernigan saying it could take longer for symptoms to show up.
Fungal infections can be slow to develop, so we're encouraging patients and their physician to be vigilant for onset of symptoms for several months following the injection.
Sabrina Gibbons for CBS News, Atlanta.
This has become the country's second worst year ever for West Nile. CDC spokeswoman Candace Hoffman says the mosquito-borne virus has sickened more than 4,500 people, killing 183.
Almost 70% of the cases have been reported from 8 states, and those states are Texas, California, Louisiana, Mississippi, Illinois, South Dakota, Michigan, and Oklahoma.
Outside the United States, health officials now confirm 2 cases of coronavirus, a distant cousin of SARS, says Ron Fouché at Erasmus Medical Center in the Netherlands.
Every outbreak starts with 1 or 2 cases. And with outbreaks like this, it is important that you stop it as early as possible.
The Dow ended the day 4 points higher at 13,556. Now this.
This is FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT, where the News Watch never stops.
Obama rebounding in the latest Nevada poll. KXNT News Time is 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Chuck Meyer. Now less than 3 weeks to Election Day, and the latest poll in Nevada shows the presidential candidates in a statistical tie. The Review Journal poll has President Obama with a 3-point lead over Mitt Romney, up from 1 point in the last poll, but still within the 3.5-point margin of error. The RJ's Laura Myers notes such a close race in a key state comes down to one thing.
It's become a cliche, but that's just because it's true. It's all about get out the vote now. So we've had a couple years, basically 2 years of campaigning, and now starting Saturday, it's Election Day every day.
On that note, Democrats enjoy about a 90,000 voter registration edge this year in a state that Obama won 4 years ago. Should casinos be required to collect and pay sales tax on the meals they comp to their workers and gambling patrons? Boyd Gaming, which operates 18 properties in the metro area, was in court today saying they should not. The state says they should and has refused to refund previously collected taxes. As KXNT's Samantha Stone reports, a judge has split the decision.
Judge Gloria Sturman said the free meals given to employees as part of their benefits package are not a taxable sale because the employees don't consciously enter into an agreement to purchase a taxable item. But when customers accept a club card with a free meal in return for their repeat patronage, that's consideration because the customer knows each time he returns, he could get another benefit.
After the ruling, both Boyd and the State Taxation Commission said they would appeal. The food fight in Las Vegas over street vendors and restaurants continued at a city council meeting today. KXNT's Trevor Smith reports council got out of the way of the two sides, about 150 feet out of the way.
For roughly a year, restaurant owners and mobile food vendors have been at odds regarding the same subject, and that's the distance that the food trucks can operate from the brick-and-mortar restaurants. And Councilman Steve Ross made his opposition clear of the 150 feet that had been agreed upon.
It's not government's job to regulate competition in the industry. It's not our job. And I would be very hard-pressed to support any kind of distance separations from mobile vending trucks and restaurants. To me, it's a different customer.
The vote was 5-1 in favor, with Councilman Bob Beers abstaining due to a possible conflict of interest. In the past few months, there have been 5 meetings between the restaurant owners and mobile food vendors, and they agreed that the 150 feet was doable. Trevor Smith, 100.5. KXNT News.
And one of those votes today also established that food carts and vendor stands have to be 150 feet from any residence. Shout out to the Runnin' Rebels basketball team, ranked 19th in a USA Today preseason poll. First time in 20 years UNLV's been that highly ranked before the year. It's not lost on Coach Dave Rice, who told KXNT today.
We understand the expectation. We went through a little bit of that last year, and there's great tradition at UNLV, and this is certainly Runnin' Rebel Town. And I've said many times that as the head coach at UNLV, it's not my job to manage the expectations, but we also understand how much hard work there is ahead.
Scarlet and Gray Showcase tomorrow at the Thomas and Mack Center. News brought to you by Associated Press, delivering its award-winning news and photos free to your mobile device. Search AP Mobile in iTunes, Android, or visit getapmobile.com. KXNT News Time is 4:06. Traffic, weather together. Here's Karen.
NHB is reporting an injury accident on the west side, Summerlin Parkway eastbound, just past Town Center. Traffic is slow rolling northbound 15 from Spring Mountain to Charleston, and 95 southbound is also slow heading around the southbound transition ramp. Traffic lightens up at Sahara. Surface Street injury accidents, Cheyenne at Commerce, and you still have one in the clearing stage of Sahara west of Decatur at Edmond. It's causing some westbound slowing on Sahara. It's going to take you just a couple extra minutes to get through. Celebrate Oktoberfest at the Feast and Festival buffets. German-inspired favorites, including homemade sauerbraten and sausage with sauerkraut. At all stations and fiestas, go to sclv.com/buffets. I'm Karen Fidel, 100.5 KXNT Traffic.
The forecast is calling for a clear and cool night tonight. Lows about 62. Another sunny, pleasant day tomorrow with a high near 84. And it could get a little cooler by later this weekend. Currently, Boulder City 82, Spring Valley 87, Las Vegas 85. Download the Your Day app to listen live and get news anytime at KXNT.com. Now, live and local with Kevin Wall on FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
This is Live and Local with Kevin Wall on FM News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
He did today what he avoided doing, what he failed to do during the first debate, namely go on the offensive, go ahead and respond. He came out swinging from the beginning, and he didn't stop throughout this entire debate.
Both sides can leave thinking they did what they wanted to do. There is zero question Democratic intensity will come back. It dipped after the first presidential debate. The president did that part of it.
Well, I think liberals can breathe a sigh of relief. It's not curtains for the president. He showed up big tonight. He was more aggressive. He had a lot of fight. Over and over again, he said what Mr. Romney said, what Governor Romney said, just isn't true.
All right, knock it off!
Number one, time is running out. Number two, time is running out. Number three, time is running out. Number four.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Wall.
408 in the Valley. Good to have you with us live and local for a Wednesday, the day after presidential debate number 2. Congressman Joe Heck joining us in studio, running in for re-election in CD3 against John Oseguera. They have had one debate. They will have one more, and John Oseguera, I guess, chickened out on a third debate. We are joined by Congressman Joe Heck. I want to ask you, because we talked a little bit about Obamacare. It's come up in both debates. Governor Romney has said that he will essentially on day one repeal Obamacare. First of all, how practical is that, knowing the politics and Congress and 535 members of Congress? How easy is that to do, or how uneasy is that to do?
Well, I think it'll be difficult because, first you need 60 votes in the Senate to reach cloture to actually bring anything to a vote. And we're not going to get 60 Republican votes in the Senate this year. Now, what we can do is, if we get to 51 votes, is there's the opportunity through reconciliation to pass a budget, and you can start defunding parts of Obamacare. And, of course, as I've said all along, I mean, there are things in Obamacare that we probably need to keep, like the consumer health protection stuff. But there's other things we need to get rid of. And so there's a way to get rid of them through the budgetary process if we can get to 51 votes in the Senate.
So in other words, we could keep, I mean, the Democrats claim, kids 26 aren't going to be able to stay on their parents' health care, pre-existing conditions, all those other things. You're saying, would it be a slam dunk to get all of those, what I call insurance regulation stuff through Congress?
Well, I'll tell you, in my short 22 months in Congress, I'd say nothing is a slam dunk. I mean, even things that you think are a slam dunk. My most recent bill passed out of the House 410-3, and is still waiting for a vote in the Senate. Nothing's a slam dunk. But I think you can look at those insurance reforms, which actually 3 of the largest insurance companies have already said prior to the Supreme Court decision they were going to do away with pre-existing conditions, lifetime caps, and kids to 26 could stay on. So that's where the market's going anyway. So I think you can find that there would be support for that. I support that, keeping those health insurance reforms, and then going through and pulling out the more dangerous pieces of the bill and things that fundamentally change the way we provide health care in this country.
Congressman and Dr. Joe Heck joining us here on 100.5 KXNT. It's live and local. Let's go to your phone calls. Go to David. David, you're up and you're on with Congressman Joe Heck. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. First of all, Colonel Heck, thank you very much for your service to your country. I know what a burden that can be.
Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
Real quick, the House overwhelmingly passed the National Concealed Weapons Reciprocity Act, and it's sitting in committee in the Senate, probably going to die there. When we win control of the Senate and the White House, would you be willing to reintroduce that and see if we can get it pushed through the Senate, maybe on reconciliation or something along those lines?
Without a doubt. I was a co-sponsor of the bill. We'll continue to support national reciprocity for concealed carry, and hopefully we'll wind up with a makeup of the legislature and the White House that will allow some success in that regard.
You want to join us? You can. 733-KXNT at 733-5968. And our remaining moments with Congressman Joe Heck go to Dave. Hey, Dave, you're up and you're on live and local with Congressman Joe Heck. Go right ahead.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you very much for taking my call. I've been reading a lot lately, about the wealth of elected officials. And I've been reading also that Governor Romney refused to take compensation for his work as governor, for his work with the Olympics. And would this be something, Mr. Heck, that you would consider not taking compensation for what would be a guaranteed win?
Well, the problem is I still have bills to pay. I have a mortgage. I have a family. I've got kids in school. And this is the only I guess, I'm not one of those wealthy members of Congress. I'm just a poor working slob. And so I need to continue to pay my bills, and this and my reserve duty is my sole source of income.
Let me ask you, Congressman, we are now just days away from the first day of early voting coming up on Saturday. You can early vote all across the valley. Trailers, in fact, over here at Rainbow and the 215, you can vote in a big double wide. Tell me in our final minutes, what is at stake? Early voting beginning Saturday and then again on November 6th.
I think the future of our nation is at stake. I mean, what we've seen, no matter what the race, is that people are going to have a choice between 2 very different visions for the future of our country. One is a pathway to a larger, more intrusive government, a broken social safety net, more spending, more debt, and more taxes. The other is a pathway to a more efficient government with a safety net that's protected and preserved for future generations, where we rein in our spending, lower our debt, and allow the working people to keep more of their hard-earned money. And then, this is the land of opportunity. It has always been the land of opportunity. But for future generations, I see that opportunity slipping away. So this race, this election, is not about those of us in our age groups. This is about our kids and our grandkids, because they're the ones that are either going to reap the benefits or pay the consequences of the decisions that we make on November 6th.
Tell you what, let's see if we can squeeze in a couple of calls before we let you go. Go to Gabe. Gabe, you're up and you're on live and local, and you're on with Congressman Heck.
Thank you. Hi, Congressman.
Hey, Gabe.
Congressman, I have a question. I taught for 32 years in Connecticut. And when I retired and went to the Social Security office to claim my Social Security, because as a teacher, you have to work part-time jobs and full-time in the summer. So I paid all my quarters. They took 100% of Social Security from me. But when I went to retire, I was told I could only collect 50% of what I was entitled to.
Yeah, that's called the government pension offset, which has been in law for quite some time. It's something that we've been working to try to repeal, that if you had a government pension issued by a state agency like you had when you were a teacher, that there's called a government pension offset to your Social Security. I disagree with that. I think that if you reached your 40 creditable quarters to receive a Social Security benefit and you had a pension from another place, that you should receive both. I mean, that's what you paid into, that's what you expected, and that's what you should receive.
That's what I thought, because if I worked at General Motors, they would give me both the General Motors pension and Social Security.
Right, and that's it's unfortunate that law was ever put into place. I think it was one of those budget sleights of hand to try to find some more money for Congress to spend. I'm working to try to get rid of it.
Final couple of days till early voting on Saturday, then, of course, November 6th. For Congressman Joe Heck, is it a sprint to the finish line?
It is always a sprint to the finish line. The marathon is coming to a close. We've hit the wall, and now we've got to push on to the finish line, and we're ready.
And get out the vote, is that going to be the name of the game from here on out?
It certainly is. I mean, it's all about identifying supporters, making sure those supporters get out to the polls, and trying to persuade those last few undecided voters out there.
And you think there are a few, that it's not a large number?
No, I think in the numbers that we've seen from the phone calls and door knockings, within CD3, maybe 5% of the voters are undecided. And so, but 5% of the voters in CD3, that could be, I won by 1,748 votes last time. That's less than 5%. So you got to go out and get every vote.
Congressman, thanks so much for spending a full hour with us. We do appreciate it. Be safe out on the campaign trail, and we'll talk with you, I'm sure, before Election Day.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Congressman Joe Heck joining us live and local. Coming up, the war on women being resurrected on just an absolutely bizarre basis. You're not going to believe what happened last night and how